Hello, fabulous Gemini. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of January 2015. General focus. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. This month, we have, especially right at the beginning of the month, a very, in some cases, surprising or in some cases sudden focus on matters of money before your attention and your energy turns to more loftier aims. And that's largely because we have got a full moon happening in a part of the sky for you that has to do with finances. But it's not only that there's a full moon in this part of the sky, but that it is activating the infamous Pluto-Uranus square. I've been talking about this now since 2012, if not earlier. And I've been talking about this in the weekly horoscopes, the monthly horoscopes as we've been going along as well. And this is really a generation-defining conversation, a very potent conversation in the sky. And really what this conversation says is change. It's, in some cases, change right now. In some cases, change that is profound, that is meaningful, that is the type of transformation that really leaves behind what isn't important and fully embraces the essence of what is. So consider this. We've got a full moon happening early in the month in the part of the sky that has to do with finances, activating this very special configuration. This configuration speaking to finances and how you feel about how it is that you make money and how much money that you are making. And you put it together and the single word is change. There is likely to be some changes, and ultimately it is going to be about you being honest with yourself if you believe that what you are doing is worth the money or not. If you truly are at peace with what you are doing or not. And if it is that you feel that you've got to make a change, you've got to figure out a way to either earn more money or earn money in a way that feels more rewarding. These are going to be parts of the considerations that arise for you now. And some of these considerations are going to be important, are going to be profound, are going to be meaningful to you as well. And I do think that some of these considerations are going to be the kind that lead at least some Geminis out there, particularly those, I gotta say, particularly those born right in the middle of your sign. I do believe that the chance of you sort of having a moment, you know, like this proverbial light bulb moment and having a moment of absolute impatience that I cannot go on this way is a possibility. For others of you, this is likely to manifest sort of in your external world that leads you to ask yourself if it's worth the money, if you like the way that you're making money or not, what else you could be doing. And all this really comes down to, as I said, change. And so I do think for some Geminis out there, I gotta say, it is very possible that you're going to find one source of income at the very least transform. Now, when we've got so much energy happening in this part of the sky, it doesn't normally say that it just completely ends and there's nothing else. Rather, it does look like if something is meant to end, a part of you is going to understand that really it has served its purpose, that maybe you're not meant to be there anymore, not meant to be doing that anymore. But it does look like ultimately at least one source of income does come to fruition, does come to a culmination, and you have to decide how you're going to go forward from there. And as I said, almost immediately, your focus changes to much more lofty aims where they will stay throughout the rest of the month and next month as well. In fact, next month, I'll be here to talk about it then, but an especially important month for you. It is next month that lots of really interesting things will be conspiring or inspiring you in the sky. And it really starts now. And that's largely due to the fact that we are going to have your ruling planet enter shadow, like immediately the day after. I believe it's the day after the full moon that takes place, depending on where you are on the planet, right around the 4th of the month. And immediately we have the day after Mercury entering shadow. Mercury entering Aquarius, the sign of Aquarius, an air sign working very well with yours. And then later in the month, towards the later part of the month, Mercury will go retrograde and begin to retrace the steps that he walks in the earlier part of the month. And so What we also have happening, which I think is really important, is the fact that we are going to have a rare series of phenomenon in the form of a new moon taking place in the same part of the sky where Mercury is going to be dancing. And normally you get one of these every year, but this year you are going to get two, exactly 28 and a half days apart. Two new moons in the same part of the sky, and one will happen next month in the later part of this part of the sky, and this month at the very beginning of this respective part of the sky. And this has to do with vision. It has to do with understanding just what it is that you need to put into place if you are going to manifest the things you most desire, if you are going to manifest a life that feels like it is in alignment with your life purpose. What is it that you need to do now so that you can get yourself there? It has to do with an exploration, with adventure. It has to do with exposing yourself to new experiences, new types of people. And there's also an element here that has to do with a new truth as well. What is it that's true for you? Well, that is going to begin to go through a process of change and of evolution as well. You put all this together and it suggests to me that whatever it is that changes financially for you early in the month doesn't really... it's almost as if you may need that so that you can then get your priorities straight, so that you can then be more honest with yourself, so that you can then begin a path of exploring what else might be out there for you. Because the universe really does want you to do something different, do something new, think about things in different ways, and explore different things as well, in terms of ideas and in terms of places as well. This is a part of the sky that has to do with an adventure calling you, whether it's an intellectual adventure or an actual place calling you as well. And that is going to be the call that comes in now. Now, what you're going to do with it, it looks like there's going to be a little bit of you sort of needing to figure out, ironing out details and all that. But when that call comes, it's going to be really hard to deny. And it's almost as if the changes that happen early in the month give you permission to consider what you could do to create greater happiness and enthusiasm in your life. And that really is what it comes down to: enthusiasm for your life and what could be. Whether that involves an institution of higher learning, whether that involves exploring newfound lands, if you will. These are the types of experiences that are going to awaken in you. And if you're honest with yourself, they've actually been there. They've been dormant for a while, and you haven't wanted to look at them. Where it is that you've been on automatic, especially where it comes to making money, you are going to be woken up. And it is through that waking up that you then are going to be able to better embrace the next adventure calling you and the next opportunity calling you. But keep in mind that it isn't just this opportunity that is coming this one time, but part of a larger process that slowly will introduce you to more of the world, and that slowly, over the course of this month and into the next, put you on a pathway towards living a life of greater enthusiasm and greater happiness as well.